What if the biggest source of stress in your caregiving journey isn't your loved one's behavior, but your reaction to it? Let that sink in. I know it might sound tough to hear, but once I discovered this truth, it changed everything about how I show up for my wife Sonia and for myself. Hi, I'm 𝗦𝘁𝗫𝗃𝗃. My wife Sonia was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in January 2020 at the age of 65. I've seen too many caregivers suffer physically, emotionally, and mentally, sometimes more than the loved ones they care for. I was determined not to let this disease take me down, and I found a way to cope. Now I help other caregivers do the same. My journey as a family caregiver has been a life-changing experience in more ways than I could have imagined. If you're here, it's likely because you're on a similar path, caring for someone you love with dementia. I want to share a key insight that has made a profound difference in my life and might just help you too. Stop fighting against the way things are. Now, I know that sounds easier said than done, especially when you're in the thick of caregiving. But when we stop resisting reality, when we stop wishing things were different or trying to force them to change, we relieve an enormous portion of the stress that caregiving brings. For a long time, I didn't see this. I was constantly frustrated with Sonia. I'd find myself thinking things like, why does she keep doing that when I've asked her not to? Why doesn't she listen to me? Is she doing this on purpose just to push my buttons? Do you ever find yourself thinking these things about your loved one? Of course you do. That's why you get upset. I want to help you understand something critical, the cause and effect relationship that's at play here. Depending on the stage of dementia your loved one is in, they may no longer be able to reason, to see the logic in what you're saying, or to understand the why behind your requests. You could yell, scream, or plead with them, but all that accomplishes is upsetting both of you. Trust me, I've been there. I've raised my voice in moments of frustration, only to see the pain and confusion in Sonia's eyes, and afterward, I would feel terrible about it. Here's what I learned. As long as you resist a situation, it will cling to you like a shadow. That frustration, that stress, it'll follow you everywhere you go, building up inside until it starts to take a serious toll on your health and well-being. I also know this. Understanding a concept intellectually is one thing, but implementing it, changing your mindset, and adopting a new way of looking at things, that's an entirely different challenge. For a long time, I struggled to let go of my frustrations. I clung to the belief that if I could just get Sonia to see reason, everything would improve. But that belief wasn't helping either of us. Eventually, I came to a conclusion that changed everything. Continuing to get upset wasn't helping Sonia, and it certainly wasn't helping me. My frustration and anger were affecting my health and, by extension, our relationship. I started a new habit. Every time I felt frustration bubbling up, I would pause and ask myself, what's more important here, adding to my stress and raising my blood pressure, or living a healthier, longer life? When I framed it that way, the choice became clearer. It's a matter of priorities. My health matters, not just for me, but for Sonia too. After all, if I'm not well, how can I be the best caregiver for her? This is something I want you to consider as well. Which is more important to you? If this sounds dramatic, let me share a sobering fact I read in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Family caregivers have a 63% higher risk of dying than their peers who aren't caregivers. Let that sink in. Caregiving can literally take years off your life if you let the stress overwhelm you. But here's the good news. You have the power to change how you respond to stress. One practice that has become a game changer for me is learning to detach emotionally from the situation. That doesn't mean I stop caring. It means I stop letting the situation dictate my emotional state. When I feel frustration or anger rising, I remind myself of a simple yet powerful affirmation. None of these things move me. I say it to myself like a mantra. It helps me stay grounded and calm no matter what's happening around me. The truth is, when we stop fighting against the way things are, we give ourselves and our loved ones a priceless gift: peace. Let me be clear. Accepting the reality of the situation doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to misery. It's about choosing to face the situation with compassion and grace instead of resistance and frustration. When we do this, we shift our focus away from what we can't control and toward what we can. No matter how frustrating the situation might be, try to accept it without judging yourself. Caregiving is hard. You're going to have moments of frustration, anger, and even guilt. That's part of being human. What matters is how you move forward from those moments. When I stopped fighting against the way things are, I noticed an incredible transformation in my own life. My stress levels dropped. My health improved. And most importantly, Sonia and I began to enjoy more peaceful moments together. Those moments are precious, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. I know this isn't easy. It takes practice, but I promise you it's worth the effort. Each time you catch yourself starting to feel upset or frustrated, take a deep breath and remind yourself of what's truly important. Your health and well-being matter, not just for you, but for your loved one too. When you let go of the fight, you'll find that the weight of those frustrating situations begins to fade away. You'll be able to approach caregiving with a calmer, clearer mind, and that benefits everyone involved. Take it from someone who's been there. I know how hard this journey can be, but I also know the incredible strength and love that drives you to show up for your loved one every day. I care about you, and I want you to have the best quality of life possible for yourself and for the person you're caring for. Remember, stop fighting against the way things are. When you do, you relieve an enormous portion of your stress, improve your health, and increase the quality of life for both you and your loved one. What's one caregiving moment where accepting the situation helped you feel more at peace, or where resisting it made things harder? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story and support you on this journey. If you're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or like you're losing yourself in caregiving, you're not alone. That's exactly why I created Caregiver Mastery, a step-by-step roadmap designed to help you manage stress, anger, and burnout, so you can care for your loved one without sacrificing yourself in the process. Inside, you'll learn how to set healthy boundaries, reduce overwhelm, and find peace even in the hardest moments. I call this place Heaven Island, a state of peace, acceptance, and clarity, where you can care for your loved one without losing yourself. Click the link below or visit caregivermasterycourse.com to get started today. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. I post caregiver support videos every Monday and Thursday. You're not alone in this. Let's do this together.